Hello all you shining stars and welcome to my channel, Shining Star Soup. Today's going to be a little story time I'm going to call Random Advice. Alright, jumping right into this, my first little piece of random advice. I have a coworker, alright, I won't mention names because this coworker might see the video, but I doubt it. I doubt he will watch any of my videos. He has been stealing my creamer, and I'm talking like I've already talked to him several times about it, and he seems to really like my silk soy vanilla creamer, and I've noticed that he's using more of it than I am, and he keeps on telling me that he's gonna run to the store and get a little carton of his very own. So my other coworker, I got like 3, gave me a little piece of advice on how to deal with that, and that is to put it in a separate container. Well, yesterday I was going to the dollar store and I was looking for something. I was actually looking for like a bottle that would say salad dressing on it, and then maybe that would stop him from taking it. However, I got the perfect idea, and it's kind of an inside joke, really. I put, and this is, I find myself so funny sometimes, I put in a baby bottle. Now, this is not an actual baby bottle, it's a little baby shower thing, but I thought it was perfect because my boss has a baby, and this could be extra baby formula for all my coworker knows, and I did that, and I was so pleased with myself. I even told a dollar store employee what I was going to be using these bottles for, and she laughed, and it was a great time. So yeah, that is my random advice, my first piece of random advice. If you have a coworker that keeps on stealing your creamer, put in one of these, go to the dollar store, find yourself one of these of your very own, put the creamer in it, and yeah, I think that will deteriorate or detour, and he'll go get his own because I'm no longer supplying him or supplying the both of us. So yeah, that's my little side little advice. All right. Little story I have to tell you, and there is more advice kind of tied into this story. A couple years ago, I went to Universal Studios to visit a friend online. Now, her and I have been friends for like 6 years. We write together, and she was a woman that we went to Disneyland, but we also went to Universal. She met me at the airport. She drove me around. She was very, I actually plan on going to Universal again next year. And what I had realized was that it was an overcast day. And my advice to you, I went on a Popeye water ride, and I greatly underestimated how wet I would get. And I went on this Popeye ride, and I got soaked head to toe, the bone, like to the bone. I got soaked, and I had wet clothes, and I ended up spending, and I'm not kidding you, $200 on one outfit because Universal doesn't really have sizes catered to my size. I'm like an extra large. I'm a 16 to an 18, and they had an extra large shirt that turned out to be more of a junior size. So I had a pair of sweatpants, and I was very self-conscious because this shirt clung to me. So I ended up spending another $75 on a Harry Potter zippered by Jose. He was here, but he didn't feel like saying hello, I guess. I bought like this souvenir Harry Potter jacket thing that I still have, and yeah, that was and I spent all day carrying around a bag of my wet clothes, cause silly me didn't feel like putting the clothes in a locker. I don't know if I had no place. It was because I had no place to put my wallet, because the pants that I ended up getting didn't have any pockets. So my advice, if you're ever going to Universal, If you're going to go on a water ride, number one, make sure it's a warm day. And number two, have an extra change of clothes with you, or else you're going to be spending a lot of extra money. All right. My third story, and I got four all together for this little story time. My third one was about salt and pepper shakers. Now, not the actual shakers, but this was a ride at the fair, where you were in this compartment and it would go round and round and upside down. I had a bunch of change in my pocket, and I had some money in my pocket, and as I was going up, some change fell out, and there was this teenager that was running the ride, and I'll never forget it. He had me on that darn ride for about a good, it felt like 15 minutes. It's like, okay, when is this ride going to end? I don't really get sick on rides, but you know, you're going upside down and up and around, and the ride, like, I swear, lasted like 10 minutes. Finally, it stopped, and all my change was gone. It was gone. So my third advice, my random advice, if you're going on like a little fair and you're going on salt and pepper shakers or any ride that's going to put you upside down, make sure you don't have change in your pocket. And, like, watch who's operating the ride, because if they look like a teenage punk, they're likely going to take all your change. I know, it's judgmental of me, but it happened, and that's my advice. Make sure you don't have loose change if you're going on an upside down ride. That's it. And my final piece of advice to wrap up this video. This was when I lived in BC and I was venturing out on my very own, getting my first apartment. And my advice is to always check inside the oven. Yes, oven, cupboards, underneath the sink, up, whatever. I have no idea how this came about. I had no idea if this object in the oven was actually mine or if it was left over from the previous tenant. But one day I had been living in my apartment, my new apartment, for about a week, and I wanted to make something in the oven. I think it was, I don't know, it was like a roast or something. And I open the oven door and there's something inside. And I'm like, well, that's weird. I pull it out, and it was a cast iron frying pan. And in that cast iron frying pan was a bunch of maggots and some rotten meat. Yep, you heard me right. And the maggots were living, and they were breathing, and they were crawling. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I ran outside, and I just threw the whole cast iron frying pan in the garbage. There was no saving that pan. So yeah, so that's my four random storylines, random advice. Creamer in a baby bottle, extra change of clothes if you're going on a water ride. Don't do it as your first ride either, or else it's gonna be not as fun for you that day. Not having any change in your pockets if you're going on a ride that's taking you upside down. Watch who's operating the ride too, just in case. And always check the stoves in new apartments. Alright, so this has been a short little fun, I hope, story time. I just wanted to break up the week with another video. And I was kind of bored this morning. And I hope all you shining stars have a shining star day, a shining star week. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe if you haven't. And bye-bye, guys.